There's a lot of software out there that tout their ability to track customers, and that's great, but a lot of them are basically filing systems. They lack the features you need to manage your pool business. If you want to get the job done right, you have to use the right tool. And filing systems, even accounting software, is just not the right way to go. Hydroscribe is the right tool because it puts you in control of all areas of your business. It'll help you manage your employees, manage your operations, and manage your money. So let's take a look at how it does all three. When managing your employees, you want to control where they go and what they can do. So what you're going to do is set up routes. When you're setting up routes, you're making sure that your techs work in a single geographic area each day to minimize the amount of distance they have to travel. So let's take a look at what I mean. I'm going to just pull up a route here. Now I'm using all test data, all the names, all the addresses, email addresses, and phone numbers, and so on that you're going to see is all test data. It's not real people. It's not real data. Now, here's a list of my employees. And I can look at their Monday route, Tuesday route, and Wednesday, and so on. But I want to look at all the days of the week because I want to show you what their route looks like for each day of the week. And I'm going to select one of my techs, and I'm going to click the Submit button, and it brings up a map that shows you the groupings. So here, for example, is the Monday pools. And you'll notice that they're in one geographic area. You can roll over the pin and it'll show you that it's a Monday. Here's the Tuesday polls. Again, you can roll over the pin and it'll show you it's Tuesday. And you notice it's a tight group. You don't have this tech driving from here over to there, down to there on one day of the week. Okay, so you're going to set the polls for him to do in one geographic area for each day of the week. Okay, now that we've got that control, we're going to go in and control what the tech can do. To do that, we're going to go into accounts. So we roll over accounts and click manage employee accounts. Again, these are all my employees, and this is just test data. Just made all of this up. Okay, so let's look at this guy, Joe. So I pull up the account for Joe, and I'm going to scroll past his contact information. And there are a series of questions here that will help you control what he can do. The mobile app that he uses to service pools can do a wide range of things, but he can only do what you allow him to do. And this is your opportunity to tell the system what things he can do and can't do. For example, do you want him to be able to create quotes when he's out there? In order to create quotes, you will have to know how much you charge for labor and what markup you put on parts that you purchase. That's not the kind of information you necessarily want to share with all your techs. So for most cases, the answer is going to be no. You don't want to allow that tech to do quotes. Do you want to record GPS coordinates as he's working throughout the day? Do you want to require the system to make sure that the tech clocks in and clocks out, so you capture that information? And again, do you want the tech to be able to bill customers while he's out in the field and charge their credit card to take payment? Maybe, maybe not. It all depends on the tech. Anyway, you control what the tech can do through the mobile app. So that gives you control. Now, when it comes to controlling your operations, there's lots of tools that you can use in Hydroscribe, but I'm going to show you the simplest one that you can use. Just simply click the dashboard button, and it brings up an overview. On the left, it tells you how many service requests you have and how many work orders you have. Here, for example, I have a total of 151 open work orders. I added 21 new ones today. I have 63 that are waiting for approval. Over on the right-hand side are all my unpaid bills, and this is a display that represents the aged invoices. In other words, for example, I have 73 invoices that are 30 days old, and they total $32,576.25. So aging your receivables allows you to focus on the oldest ones and get paid for those as quickly as possible. Below that is the status for all your techs. So here, for example, my tech Joe clocked in at 7:16 this morning, and so far he's completed 4 services out of 17. So he's done 4 services out of 17, and he spent an average of 10 minutes on site. As you can see in the status column, it says completed for the ones that he's completed, and for the ones that he hasn't completed, it just shows you the service name that he needs to do. Wherever you see the word completed, you can click on it, and you can see the details of the visit. For example, here's my customer. Customer is James Bond. And it shows you the date of the service, the time he started, the time he finished, the number of minutes he spent on site, the service type that he did, a couple of photos. You can always click on the photo to see a better view of it. And below that are all the chemical tests that he did and chemicals that he added to the pool. Here he used a Pentair skimmer basket and the task that he did to clean the pool. So all the details of the visit are here. Okay, so this allows you to control your operations by simply going to the dashboard, clicking the dashboard button. However, there are other things that you can do. For example, if you roll over preferences, you will see an option for high-low service alerts. This allows you to set up a range for chemicals. So if a chemical goes out of bounds for any reason, the system will send you an alert. And then what you can do is, once you get that alert, you can manage those alerts by assigning them to a tech to do follow-up visits. And this allows you to catch any emerging problems. The pump might be going bad, so why not catch it before it becomes a problem? Okay, so those are just 2 of the things that you can do to control your operations. We also have lots of reports. So you can roll over reports and click reports and click inside the report name field. And you'll see we have financial reports, we have customer balance reports, billing reports, and so on. Lots of reports. Okay. All right. So far, we looked at managing our employees, managing our operations. Now, to manage the money, you're going to do a couple of things. Number one, you're going to go into each customer. If a customer calls you up, or doesn't call you, but if they have a bill that's unpaid and they want to make a payment, they can either do it through their customer menu or you can make the payment themselves. Okay, you roll over accounts and you click on your customer list. Again, these are all test customers. So let's just go into one. And what we're looking for are the customer charges section and the invoices section and the payment section. The customer charges section shows you a list of all the charges that are being accumulated for this customer. Here, for example, there's one for chlorine tablets, pH increaser, and a skimmer basket that was used. There are also 4 charges here that are in purple. The reason that that's the case is because if you look in the on hold column, you'll see that these 4 charges are on hold. Why? Because they're part of work order 1056, and that work order has not been done yet. So to prevent you from accidentally billing the customer, those charges are automatically on hold. Once the tech completes that job in the field, these charges are automatically taken off hold by the system so that the charges can be billed to the customer and they'll appear on the customer's next bill. Speaking of bills, below that, let's take a look at invoices. As you can see, there's a list of all the invoices that you've ever created for this customer. The ones that are in green have been paid. You can see there's a paid column that shows yes. The ones that are in white have not been paid. We can click on any of these to see the details. Here, for example, is a bill. And these are the charges that were added to the bill. As you can see, there was a deposit, a $40 deposit made by the customer for this toward this particular bill. Also down at the bottom, you can see show payments made. If you click on that, it'll show you which payments were applied to this bill to pay it off. So it's very easy to control the money that flows into and out of your business by looking at the charges, invoices, and the payment section. Okay, so that's just a small thing to look at. We know that there are lots of reports out there, and all of these things work to help us manage the system with no problem. However, there's a very important component that most software products lack, and that is a way for the customer to get information for themselves. So that is the reason we created the customer portal. So let me show that to you. This is our customer portal. All the features on the customer portal are controlled by you. Whatever you want the customer to see, you leave checked. If you don't want the customer to have access to a particular function, you simply uncheck it and they won't even see that function. So let's look at what the customer portal can do. Now the customer can look at pool status. Pool status is just a history of the services that were done to his pool. And he can go back in time and pick any particular visit. Here, for example, is a visit that was done. You left an alert message that said large quantities of chlorine has been added to your pool. Basically, you shock the pool and you're telling them to stay out for an hour or so. Here are the chemical readings that were taken by the tech, a photo that was taken, all the chemicals that were added to the pool, and down at the bottom, notes that the tech left and all the tasks that he completed. So the customer can see an overall view of each visit. Customer can also communicate with you. They can request service, they can send a message, or they can receive a response from you. This works just like email. The business end of things, the customer can view unpaid invoices. So you can click on an invoice, you can scroll to the bottom, and you can click the pay now. Now remember, all of this is test data, not real. Customer can click on the pay now button and it brings up information, and they can click the submit button and pay. The customer can also, instead of paying each bill individually, can set up automatic bill payment. Okay, so they don't have to do anything. The system will automatically charge their credit card or debit their bank account as payment for an unpaid bill. They can look back at all their paid bills. So any bill that they've paid over time, they can click on it and look at what was actually on that bill. The customer is also able to view their statements if they want to. And if they want to set up a way to use their bank account to pay instead of using a credit card, they can do that by authorizing e-check transactions. So this allows the customer to look up information for themselves. The whole idea is to keep your customers informed so that they don't have to keep calling you each time they need to find information. The other thing that customers complain a lot about is, did the guy really come out and clean my pool? They don't need to wonder because they can look that information up for themselves. Okay, so these are just a few things that you can do to control your overall business. The bottom line is that Hydroscribe is full service software that puts you in control of all areas of your business. And that's why you should use Hydroscribe.